Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we are looking at a figure that I've had for a while, but for some reason haven't reviewed yet. So, this is the McFarlane Toys Mortal Kombat 11 Dark Ages Spawn. Yes, I know that says Commando Spawn, but if you've played Mortal Kombat 11 and you've seen this skin, or you have it, or anything like that, then you know that the name of this skin is actually Dark Ages, not Commando. But regardless, here he is. This is the Dark Ages Spawn. That's how I know him. But yeah, he's called Commando Spawn. But if you want to know, the original Commando Spawn, here they are. And I feel like that's a really cool comparison. I really like this guy a lot. So yeah, stay tuned soon for a comparison review between these two guys. So there you go. There's that. And then in terms of Spider-Man, here he is with Spider-Man. Feel like that's pretty good scale. And then here he is with my first ever Spawn figure. This is the Malefic Spawn, who's also from the Mortal Kombat line. And yes, I gave him She-Spawn sword, because I think that looks good. But yeah, so I feel like, that scaling is fairly accurate. And then in terms of how tall this guy actually is, why don't we find out together? So he stands, let's say, just about 7 1/4 inches. So not super tall, but also, not like really small. And then he's also, let's say, about 19 centimeters to the top of these things, which is only slightly taller than his head. So there we go. Now let's get this out of the way here. He looks really cool, but he doesn't come with any guns. So I'm not entirely sure what they were thinking with that, but yeah, regardless, this is what he looks like. This is accurate to the source material, to the game Mortal Kombat 11. And I guess Ed Boon actually worked with Todd McFarlane in figuring out how do we make this character work in this fighting game. So I think that that's pretty cool that they did that. So yeah, in terms of the sculpt here, I think that it looks really accurate. So if we just take a close-up look here, you can see that he's got kind of like some of the cape and like a bandana. I think that looks cool. You can definitely see the Mortal Kombat Spawn face underneath there with the green eyes. I like the kind of lime green eyes, and then kind of that like sandy white color for the for this thing, and then nice kind of like a matte black for the head there. So that looks good. I like the dark red for the cape. I think that it looks really good, especially if you look at it from behind. You can tell, like, without even looking at the front of the figure, you can tell, okay, this is supposed to be Spawn. And I like that. I like the layers on the cape and all of that. And yeah, if you can see here, well, as you can see here, that the cape on the Commando Spawn figure is a lot darker than is on the Malefic Spawn. So I think that that's pretty cool. That it's not the same cape. I think it might be the same mold, but it's not the same color, and I like that. So, yeah, there we go. And then it's the same shade of red for these gauntlets that he has, these asymmetrical gauntlet things. On the right hand, you can see that it's bigger, more triangular shaped, and then it's also got like a whole bunch of spikes on there that are kind of like this silvery, like this rusted silver color. And then on the left hand here, you got more of a cone shape, but it's got, more spikes on there and a different design that's also, shows off his hand more, including those little knuckle things. So there you go. And that's also the same color for his Capullo boot that he's got going on. And then also the this thing here. So there you go. And I think that looks good. And then for the rest of his body, it's basically just black, but it's like different like types of black plastic. So with the body here, it has a nice kind of like an armored look almost. Like you can see, you can kind of make it out, but there's like a shoulder pad like on here. And then you have like some wrappings here in gray, like around the arms. So it's kind of like he's like armored himself up, but only like a little bit. So I think that looks really cool. You don't have that same design on here, so it kind of adds the asymmetrical look. The collar there with the skulls on there and the chain. That looks really good. Then if we go below that, you can see the M there, and then you also have the bandoliers there. And yes, the sculpt does continue on the back, which I think is a nice attention to detail there. I like that they bothered to paint the M there, even if, you won't normally see it. If you were to remove the cape, which I have seen some customizers do, they actually take off the cape to give it more of a Commando Spawn look, because if you don't know, Commando Spawn does not wear a cape. He thinks it gets in the way, so he just kind of takes it off. Yeah, so I think that looks good. I like the gray there for the actual belts. Then you have some nice silver for the bullets there, and then also like a darker silver for the 2 grenades that he has on there. And then you have a nice gray belt here, and then you have the silver skull there. So that's pretty cool how it's not actually a chain belt, but it's more of like, an actual belt. So that's pretty cool. And then you do also have some more straps on here, but instead of it being just like, something on his leg here that's like red pouches, you have like these gray straps that connect to a holster to a weapon that is not removable. I don't know if that's like a separate sculpt, but you just can't take it out, or if it's just one sculpt. I don't know what is going on with that, but yeah, so he does have that. So he technically does have a weapon. But I guess what you could do is you could pose him, basically like this, so that looks like he's about to pull it out. So that's definitely an option that you have. So there you go. And then on this side, you have some ammo for, I don't know what, like a grenade launcher or something. But there's one missing, which is, I like that attention to detail, that, like, he's already fired a shot and he's got, 4 other shots that he can use. So I think that that's pretty cool. You do get some of that armored look that kind of continues there with the, kind of rivets in there, and then like the padding and all of that. So it definitely gives it a more armored look, which I think does make sense. And again, we go down to the Capullo boot. So there you go. And then on the other side here where you don't have that, and you get some nice detail with the red there, and also the boots. So I feel like it's a really good sculpt overall. Even on the back, they still have more of the armored look there. So I think that that's really cool. I really like it. And as far as articulation goes, the head is, of course, on a double ball peg, but it doesn't have the most amount of range because the cape gets in the way, but also this bandana piece. So he can look up really well. He can look down just a little bit, and then you do also get some rotation and some attitude and all of that. So it doesn't really move around a whole lot, but it does move up a decent amount, and you can kind of see the neck sculpt underneath that, which is just black. It's just a black piece there. So there you go. But he does have that. With the arms, they can go out a little bit better than 45 degrees, so I think that that's pretty good. You could theoretically get rotation if not for the cape. You do get a biceps level there, so you do have that. You do also get a double jointed elbow, which gives you about that much range on that side. And then let's see on this side, yeah, a little bit less than that just because of the design of the gauntlet there. But I think it's still fair for what it is. And then you do also get a ball hinge for the wrist there, and then for the torso, if you use both of the joints, he can go back really far, actually, so that's pretty good, which means he probably can't go forward. Yeah, he can't go forward basically at all. So there you go, but you do get some rotation, and then, some pivoting and all of that, so there you go. And then as far as the legs go, he can go out about that far comfortably, and then he can go forward about that far, and then back basically just as far, so that's actually pretty good there. You do get a thigh swivel, a pretty good thigh swivel at that, for the people that really like thigh swivels, so this one might be a pickup if all you care about is a thigh swivel. I feel like that's pretty good. And then as far as the knee goes, he does have a double joint there. It's very tight on mine, but it does work, can work, probably could have heated this guy up some before the review, but well, you know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. But yeah, so that just kind of gives you an idea there of that. So there you go. It's a pretty good double jointed knee, and it doesn't look too weird either. Some of their knee joints look weird, but This one, not so much. And then you do also get the ball hinge ankle joints, so they can go back like one click, and then there's like a neutral one, and then there's like a little bit of one going forward. You do get some rotation there. You do get a toe hinge, and you do get the same joint on this side. It's just a lot more restricted. You basically can use the toe joint. That's about it, just because of the Capullo boots. So there you go. And then as far as accessories go, this is where I feel like they could have done more. He does have a Mortal Kombat display stand, because this is a Mortal Kombat figure after all. But then, in terms of what he actually does come with, you know, given this design and given how he does have a couple moves in the game that rely on these like SMG type things, well, he doesn't have those. What he instead has are these necroplasm accessories. I don't know what these are supposed to be, if these are supposed to be like blasts of necroplasm like a gun, or if these are supposed to be just things of energy that he has, because he does have an intro where he has his hands out like this, and he has this like energy that's coming out of them. So I don't know if it's supposed to be that, but they look good for what they are. I like how they're like, you know, all wavy and spiky and all of that, and how they're also translucent, so it looks like, you know, it's actually like glowing energy. So I think that that's pretty cool. So there you go. And then, of course, what you can do is you can just put them into his hands like this. So if you want him to have these, you can definitely give them to him. But me personally, I don't really like that all that much, because this guy is super armored up and has, you know, he's definitely ready for weapons. And so what I like to do is I like to take this, which is actually from the McFarlane's munitions pack. So the McFarlane Toys munitions pack, the third one that they made, that is. So the munitions pack 3, and I like to give this weapon to him. And I think it fits him better. It doesn't exactly resemble a weapon that he had in Mortal Kombat 11 specifically, but I feel like just for a like modernized, you know, Commando type spawn, I feel like this gun works really well for him, and so he can, you know, just kind of hold on to it basically like this. And so yeah, there you go. And I think that that looks really cool with him. So there you go. And then as far as the box is concerned, well, it's the Mortal Kombat box before they did the Mortal Kombat Classic stuff. So you got Commando Spawn on there, McFarlane Toys, Mortal Kombat 11. You got Scorpion on this side, because this is definitely Scorpion and not Spawn. And yeah, clearly this is a Scorpion figure. I don't know why they have Scorpion on here. 22 moving parts, blah, 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 all of that stuff. There we go. And yeah, so that's about it. And this is for ages 14 up, and it is not a toy. It's not a toy, even though it clearly is. But yeah, anyway, so that just about wraps up this review of the Dark Ages Spawn. So if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed this review, you like this figure, all of that, you be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like this guy? Do you not like him? You know, would you, if you have this guy, you know, did you try removing the cape? I'm not going to bother with that, because I don't want to mess it up, but yeah, I'm curious of, like, you know, did you remove the cape, and how does it look, and all of that. Yeah, if you want to see more content like this, you can definitely subscribe. Stay tuned for the next time around, where I compare these two guys, because I think that would be really fun to do. But other than all of that, I do hope that you enjoyed. I do hope that I'll see you all.